Hey guys, I got a super cool episode lined up for you today. We're going to talk about 10 things that people learn too late. Bon appetit. Hey guys, Akil here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. I don't say this often enough, but thank you guys so much for the support you guys have given me. It's crazy that we've been able to do 500 plus episodes and things have not gotten stale, and mainly that's because of you guys. You guys keep giving good feedback, saying, go Akil, I want more. You guys keep lending me good ideas too, which allow me to have fresh topics to talk about. Because trust me, the day that I get bored talking about stuff or the day I just start doing this podcast just to do it is the day it will end. Now, the best way you can support the show, if you want to share your support, is one, you can share it on social media wherever you're at. Just make sure you tag me in it as well. Let me know what you liked. I love hearing that so I can do more of it. And also, you can leave me a rating and a review wherever you listen to podcast at. Now, today's topic is interesting. It's not necessarily trading related, but I'm sure we will find a way to make it trading related. And I wanted to talk about it because this is the second time this subject came up today. When that happens, I know that I have to do a podcast about it. Earlier today, I was out with a few friends, and we were talking about a friend of mine who was, where the last time we met a few weeks ago, he had this idea, and one of my friends asked me, hey, do you think your buddy followed through with that idea? And I said, no, probably not. And it has to do with a lot of underconfidence. It has to do with a lot of fear, right? The fear to get out of that comfort zone. That's always a big thing, right? And then later today, I stumble upon, while I'm kind of cleaning up my computer a little bit, I stumble across an infographic that says, and you can find this on my social media if you scroll through Instagram. It's probably the best way to find the graphics and whatnot. It was an infographic that said, things people learn too late, and there was a list of 10 of them. Now, I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but really the last 5 are dead on. I'm going to walk you through it and try to get through as quickly as possible so this doesn't turn into a 30-minute episode. But one, everything is temporary. And I like this. I love this one. And I think everything is temporary. This goes for both success and failure, right? I forgot who said this. No, I've talked to Jason Greystone about this a lot, but I forgot who kind of originated the quote. You guys can help me out if you know. But there's a difference between being broke and poor, right? Broke is a situation where you don't have any money. Poor is a mindset. People that are broke, they are temporarily broke, meaning technically they may not have any money or only a little bit of money right now, but they're working their way out of that situation. Poor is more of a mindset of how you handle yourself, where you feel basically you're unworthy of success, and because of that, you either don't do the things needed to become successful, or you self-sabotage when those opportunities to become successful are in front of you. But I think it's important to understand because, like many of you listening to this, right, I was down in the dumps. I have the luxury now in hindsight of being someone that has seen kind of both sides of the pond. I don't know why that's a saying. Are there 2 sides of a pond? Anyway, I don't know. But I have the luxury of being someone that has went from basically being broke to being successful, and I've been able to keep really the lessons and the work ethic that I used when I was broke to get successful with me to this day in hopes of becoming super duper mega successful. But the most important thing is I understand that it's temporary. So when I speak to aspiring traders, aspiring entrepreneurs, people that are just down on their luck, they can look at me and they can see me not just as a super successful person that is telling them what to do, but seeing someone that has gone through it as well. And I can tell you that if you're focused on learning the right actions and taking the right actions, you have to understand that, hey, my current situation is going to be like this forever. Now, you have to actively and deliberately do things to change your situation, yes, but there's no type of life sentence where you have to be poor, you have to be broken. I hear so many people turn back on product of my environment. Oh, I came from this place, so I can't be successful. Oh, I came from here. Look, I come from Philadelphia, PA, right? It's a lot of people don't get out of there alive, and first and foremost. So yes, you can make it. It may not be easy, it may be tough, but you can make it. Now, at the same time, it's important to understand that success is temporary as well. A lot of people fail, a lot of businesses fail because they think once they get successful, that's it. They're going to be successful forever. They no longer have to do the things that got them successful in the first place. And that is false, right? That is a recipe for disaster. Once you become successful, you have to work even harder to maintain that success. So I think understanding that everything is temporary is massive. It's going to keep you in that growth mindset. It's going to keep you on an upward trajectory towards whatever that ultimate goal is. Number 2, life isn't fair. It's not. Yeah. We all have hardships. There are things that are out of our control. I kind of live by a motto, control what you can control, and you know, that's all you can do, right? There's going to be stuff that happens. Talking about the broken and poor mindset earlier, all of us are going to come from different situations. Some of us are going to come from situations where we don't have much and we have to work a lot harder than others just to get the bare minimum. Some of us are going to come from situations where we have parents or family members that are super successful, and there's no way we can ever live up to the pressure of being as successful as my father or my grandfather or something like that. Life isn't fair, right? You are dealt a set of cards, right? You're dealt a specific hand. For you poker players out there, your only objective in life is to play those cards, play your hand as smartly as possible, right? Make the best out of your situation. Don't compare your situation to others, because what does that really do? Where does that get you? It just gets you mad or depressed or whatnot. So stop doing it, right? Life isn't fair. Suck it up. It happens. Deal with it. What are you going to do about it? Number 3, family matters more than friends. This is the one I don't necessarily agree with, so we don't really, I won't spend much time on that. And everyone's different. For me, I consider my best friends to be the same as my family, which is why, I wouldn't put blood over a best friend simply because they're blood. It's more about the relationship. But that doesn't matter for me, this one, so we'll skip over that. 4, beneath anger is always fear. And this is a big one. This follows up on a podcast episode we did probably about a month or so ago, talking about the comfort zone and breaking out of it, and how when you try to do something special, there are going to be people that are going to hold you back. You're going to have people in your ear. Oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. Isn't it too hard? You'll never be successful, right? All of that fun stuff. You get trolls on the internet once you become successful, trying to bring you down, hating on you, right? Understand this, and this was something that really changed my mind, right? Have you ever been hated on by someone that's doing better than you? Right? For someone that is doing better than you, have they ever looked down to say, oh, you suck, you couldn't do this? Probably not. It's always the other way around. And when you think about that, it'll make you realize that beneath anger is always fear, right? The reason that these people are so angry, the reason that they're naysayers, is because you've put fear in them. You are doing something that they are afraid to do, and around the other friends, they feel comfortable not doing it because everyone's doing the same thing. But as soon as you try to break out and do something different, now all of a sudden you are a threat, because it's a reality check. Like, man, Akil can do it, so I can do it too. Oh, but I don't really want to do it. And there's that fear. And instead of accepting that fear and learning how to harness it and use it as a positive, right, as motivation, they'd rather just pull you down. So if someone gets angry at you, don't take it personal. They're really just yelling at themselves, and you just happen to be the punching bag, right? So embrace it. Consider it a compliment even. Number 5, a lifetime isn't forever. This is big for the procrastinators, right? the people that kick the can down the road. I do this a lot. I just made a call today that I was supposed to make 2 weeks ago, and I've been procrastinating about it. It was a call to make some to get some loan money for this stuff, and it keeps getting knocked back in my list because I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, eventually there will be no tomorrows, right? Eventually we all pass. Hopefully you live a long, fulfilling life before you do so, but you never know. So don't take too long to take action, especially for you guys that want to do something life-changing, whether you want to start a business or start investing or start a project, whatever it's going to be. There comes a point in your life where you get too old to take the same risk. When you're younger, you can take a lot of risks. We interviewed this 16-year-old, I guess he's 18-year-old now, 18-year-old trader the other day. He was 16 when he started. And, me and Jason, we're looking back, we're like, man, if I would have started trading at 18, man, right? I can afford to fail and I can put so much on the line because I have so much time to make up for it, right? Even myself and my personal story. I started trading at 21, somewhere around there. I always forget how old I am, give or take a year, right? But basically, I started trading with no commitments, no family, no mortgages, I had a mortgage, but I had a rental income covering it. But you get the point. No, I didn't have a lot of debt aside from student debt, right? So I can afford to take a risk. And if I failed, I wouldn't really be in a worse position than when I started. But if you keep kicking the can down the road, you keep procrastinating, eventually there comes a point where you get too old. I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now. If, I'm in a situation where married, mortgage, 2 kids, if I had to make the choice to drop everything and pursue trading right now, I don't know if I would. The competitor in me thinks I'd find a way, but I don't know if I would because, right now I'm the sole income provider for the house. I don't know if I can sacrifice the safety of feeding my kids and making sure the bills are paid and the lights on, there's gas in the car. I don't know if I can sacrifice that for a dream. So don't wait too long, right? Time runs out quick. Don't wait too long. This doesn't last forever. Number 6, the biggest risk is not taking risk, right? So I'm going to contradict myself, or I guess follow up on what I just said on the last one, right? Do it. The biggest risk is not taking risk. And here's the cool thing, right? So we talk about risk reward a lot in trading, right? And that carries over into life where everything we do, we balance risk reward. Every action I take, even when driving the car, it's risk reward. Should I run this yellow light? What's the risk of me doing it? I get hit or I get pulled over. What's the reward? I get to my place a minute faster. Let's be safe. Or, other way around. But understand, if you don't take risk, right, you will never have reward. If you take risk, you have the potential to get reward. So if I take risk, it gives me the potential to make reward, which is good. If I don't take risk, it feels safe, but I have no potential to gain reward. So what seems like the better option? Well, the better option is to take risk, because if you don't take risk, your best case scenario is that you're in the exact same place you're in right now. Now, if you're happy in the exact same place you're in right now, that's fine. Don't take the risk. But if you're in a situation where you wish you were doing something different, you're not happy with your life, or you're not living your ideal life, you've got to take that risk. You've got to take that risk if you want to do something different. It's very important. Number 7, actually going back to number 6, that was the game changer in my trading career, where I procrastinated a lot because, again, I was working 3 jobs. I had no mortgage, no bills. I was making like $30,000 a year, which for me was more money than I've ever seen in my life. The reason it took me so long to get into trading because, I was comfortable. I was like, this is cool. Making a lot of money. I don't really spend a lot of money. And I got the real estate thing going on. This is cool, right? I'll just stay here. But I thought about to the future. I thought about, what is my life going to be like when I get married, when I have kids, when I want to do things that I want to do? Is $30,000 going to cut it? And I started doing the math, the atomications, right? And I was like, 30,000, inflation, right? I don't really know if that's going to allow me to live my life. And then I thought like, hey, I don't want to be 35, 40 years old, still working 3 jobs and cleaning toilets and stuff like that. I'm like, that's not the ideal life. And that fear is what caused me to take the risk. And again, you combine that with the fact that I was younger, the actual risk wasn't that much, and it was a kind of a no-brainer. Still a tough choice, but a no-brainer. Number 7, things don't matter that much. They don't. I think things matter, and I'm assuming this is talking about material things, but even things in life like gossip, stuff like that doesn't matter that much. You can kind of control what you value. The older, I've never been one to value a lot of material things. It's just not me. I'm just not built like that. I don't know if that's how my parents raised me or just kind of naturally how I am, but I never really cared about material things. I was never the person that spent money on clothes. I was never the person that spent money on cars. I kind of just worked hard and saved it. And, I saved for video games and stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I realize that things really don't matter that much. I think a lot of people are like that too. I think when we're younger, we're sucked into the material possessions because we have to look a certain way in front of our friends to be popular and to be accepted. Again, I was never personally that way. I just didn't care, but I know that I'm the exception when it comes to that. But I think as you get older, you realize that things don't matter that much, and you don't really need to impress anyone. The only person you need to impress is yourself by your own success. And honestly, your success will speak for you. Again, another podcast episode that I did a while ago, I shared a few conversation I had with a guy who said, Akil, you don't look successful because your office looks the same for the last 2 years. Like, I don't see anything flashy in there. I'm like, nah, I got a bookshelf full of good reads, right? Ty Lopez style, but that's about it. That's what I spend my money on, books and microphones. I buy a lot of microphones, okay? I've been good for the last year, but I buy a lot of microphones because I'm really weird about how I sound. That comes from the audio engineering days. But aside from that, I don't really spend up on much because material things don't matter. I'll spend on stuff for my kids. I'll spend on sporting events. World Cup is going to come to the US. I plan on going there wherever it's at. I'll fly out to Kansas with Darren to see the Gold Cup, something like that. I'll spend for stuff like that, vacation. But other than that, things don't matter. And I think when you realize things don't matter, you focus on the things that really do matter, and that's your family, your friends, your happiness. Speaking of happiness, number 8, happiness is a choice. Big. You guys know I do a lot with neuro programming, right? A lot with psychology and self-development and personal improvement and stuff like that. Happiness is 100% a choice. A lot of people will let others affect their happiness. That is still a choice, right? You are allowing others to affect your happiness. Guess what? If there is someone out there that doesn't make you happy, it is very easy to change that, right? Avoid them, cut them off, ghost them, right? They're no longer a friend. If it's someone on social media, block them, right? Don't read your messages. Don't read comments. If you're not able to not read comments, don't make posts. If you don't want to read, if you get nasty comments and you don't want to read the comments because it makes you depressed, don't post anything and you won't get any comments, right? It's your choice. You control all of it. You control your happiness. You control what you do. You control who you're around. You control what you read, right? Someone was complaining the other day about, I get so depressed because I listen to the news and all they do is talk about bad stuff. Well, stop listening to the news. I haven't watched the news in 20 years because it just makes me mad and angry. I'm tired of hearing about fires and murders and people dying, right? They don't give me anything happy, so I stopped watching it. I decided I'm going to cut that out. I'll find something on YouTube, some cat videos that make me happy, right? It's a choice. And the same thing goes for the position that you're at. If you're not happy in your job right now, if you're not happy with your employment, find something that makes you happy. I'm not saying quit right away. Be smart about it, but start thinking, brainstorming, exploring, and then writing down some action steps for how you're going to get out of your current situation, which isn't happy, and move yourself towards a situation that is happy. Preach, right? Number 9. You played it too safe. This kind of follows up on number 6, which said the biggest risk is taking no risk. You played it too safe. You got to go for it. You got to go for it, right? You got to risk it for the biscuit, as Bruce Arians, the Super Bowl winning coach, would say, right? Risk it for the biscuit. No risk it, no biscuit, right? You can't play it safe, right? You can't play it safe. You can safely plan out how you want to do things, but you have to take risks. You have to go for it. When you go for it, you got to commit 100%. You can't be timid. I remember I'm a former football player, and if you've ever played football, you'll know exactly what I mean. Where people, there's no such thing as playing football kind of half speed, right? If you're out there and you're trying to play it safe on the football field, you're gonna get hurt, right? You have to do things all out to be safe. It's weird. You won't understand it unless you've played. But if you've ever seen someone out there going half speed trying to play it safe, those are the ones that get injured. You just have to go for it. Number 10, and this is probably the biggest one, bigger picture. Money lets you be yourself, so go get it. And again, a lot of these topics we've covered in podcast episodes. So if you guys are frequent viewers, you're recalling a lot of these episodes. If you're new, make sure you go back and listen to them. This is fantastic stuff. But we had an episode before talking about money and buying happiness, or money and how money makes you evil and kind of the misconceptions of that. Money does nothing but allow you to be a better version, not a better version, an elevated version of yourself. And by elevated, I don't necessarily mean better. If you're an a-hole, or an arsehole, as you guys say in the UK, if you're an arsehole, right, you're going to be more of one with money, right? Because now money allows you to be more of yourself. You don't really care about changing to impress others. Your money gives you confidence, and you can just be that arsehole, right? If you're a nice person, money allows you to be a nice person, right? If you are someone, my wife and myself are very charitable. The more money we made, the more money we can donate to charity, right? Those percentages increase, right? And if 10% of a $1,000 paycheck used to go to charity, that 10% is still going to charity, but now instead of $1,000 paycheck, it's a much higher amount, right? You can be who you want to be. And I think that's the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is to live a fulfilled life, to be happy. And I don't think anyone's ever been happy not being themselves. And I know my mentor always told me that his goal in life was to be in a position where he can do whatever he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it, and that he never had to do things he didn't want to do. And for him, that was the perfect life for him. So 10 things. Let me know what you think. If you have anything else you want to add, again, things that people learn too late, if you have any comments of it, shoot me a DM, let me know. Of course, I always look to do follow-ups on these episodes based on what you guys bring. As I mentioned before, appreciate the support. I love you guys. Until next time, plan your trade your plan. Take care. Hey guys, thank you again for checking out the podcast. Remember, if you want more content, make sure you head over to www.tier1trading.com. Check out the free webinar we have available. It's a 4-part series on trading and wealth creation by Jason Greystone. www.tier1trading.com. Click that button that says, give me free stuff.